Hey everybody, John from Movie Burners here, back with another movie review, and today I'm going to be discussing the 2016 Disney Pixar release, Moana. Now, Moana is a charming, enjoyable oceanic musical and a fun take on the Polynesian culture. It's another addition in a long line of princess movies from the studio, though the titular protagonist would probably protest wildly at such aspersions being levelled against a good character. Beginning with a low-building backstory come legend courtesy of Gramatala, played by Rachel House, on the heroics and mysterious disappearance of Maui after his stealing of Te Fiti's heart. We are then given a short but incredibly adorable scene with a young Moana, who even as a sprightly toddler seems fascinated with the ocean, and it appears to call to her too. The small jade-coloured heart briefly entering her grasp as the ocean peels back before her to offer a stunning aquarium-style view at passing by sea life. Her father, Chief Taui, played by Tamura Morrison, quickly retrieves his young daughter, however, and where we are, the first of many catchy songs kicks in, whilst a montage of an ever older Moana trying her best to escape the island and continually being thwarted by her increasingly exasperated father plays out. Following the short montage, a now older Moana, played by Auli'i Cravalho, is seen reluctantly carrying out her duties as the chieftain's daughter, but all the while still harbouring a strong desire to be out on the ocean. Her father has imposed a ban on leaving the lagoon that surrounds Motunui, and refuses to lax it even as the crops begin failing and fish population begins dropping dramatically. Moana attempts to leave the island herself, with it almost ending in disaster, but it's not until she has a glimpse at her people's ancestry via a vision and a hidden cave full of boats that she becomes absolutely positive that her destiny lies beyond the island. And she's given the encouragement required when Gramatala, her grandmother, who was always prompting her to follow these desires, is suddenly struck down and on her deathbed tells her to leave quickly. Singing the ear-worm-inducing How Far I'll Go, she successfully navigates her way out of the lagoon and heads on her quest to find Maui and restore the heart of Te Fiti. It doesn't take her long to find him either. After her ship capsizes in a heavy storm, both Moana and the idiotic Crazy Rooster, who unwittingly get dragged into the whole affair, wash up on a desert island. Initially she curses her luck and berates the ocean for its lack of help, but then the realisation suddenly dawns that the island she's ended up on is inhabited by the demigod himself. Now Maui, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as it turns out is rather full of himself, and after singing the equally catchy You're Welcome, a song dedicated to all his acts of heroism and seemingly unselfish deeds, he quickly locks a temporarily befuddled Moana in a cave before attempting to escape. Ignoring his conscience, which manifests itself in the form of a mini Maui tattoo on his chest, he sets off. Moana is not to be outdone this easily, however, escaping the cave and finally ending up on the boat with the aid of the ocean. Now, what follows is a fairly linear adventure, but there's more than enough excitement, and the pacing is such that there's rarely, if ever, a dull moment to be had, which is no mean feat in a film centred on a small craft in the middle of an ocean. There's a thrilling run-in with crazy coconut pirates swinging on ropes from all angles and travelling on ships which have more than a passing resemblance to the towering vehicles seen in Mad Max. A tense battle to retrieve Maui's magical hook with Tamatoa, played by Jermaine Clement, plays out. Tamatoa, incidentally, is a huge jewel-crusted crab with a real penchant for shiny objects, who lives at the bottom of the ocean. And finally, an epic showdown, or should I say two showdowns, with Tika, a huge lava creature that desires the heart for itself and stalks the entrance to the island. There's a couple of standouts in this film, namely Auli'i Cravalho and Dwayne Johnson. Moana wasn't your archetypal Disney princess by any means, and Cravalho brought the independent and empowered the young character to life beautifully. Johnson delivers one of the best performances I've seen from him as the immensely likeable and charming Maui, and his character has the most development over the course of the film too. Initially giving off arrogant, obstinate vibes, we are given an insight into his past and witness him go through a crisis in confidence as he struggles to regain his shape-shifting powers, and there's also plenty of laughs to be had at his failed attempts. And before long, his bullish temperament softens and he regains his powers to help Moana complete her quest. Jermaine Clement's brief part as Tamatoa is decent too, and the scene was a real highlight for me, whilst Tamura Morrison and Rachel House were strong early on as Chief Taui and Grandma Tala. Shout out too to Alan Tudyk as Hee the rooster too. The character obviously doesn't have any spoken parts, but the mere presence of the man is great, and the antics he got up to were hilarious. Visually, the film is an absolute masterpiece, as you'd expect from Pixar. The standout moments for me were the battle with the Kakamora, the beautiful looking water, and the sentient wave which popped up in times of need or hilarity. The little mini Maui tattoo and the absolutely beautiful scenes with Tamatoa on the ocean floor with the wondrously luminous algae were fantastic too, and I thought Disney did a respectful job of portraying the Polynesian culture in this film. Musically, the songs were extremely catchy, well written, and they fitted the mood perfectly throughout. Kudos to Lin-Manuel Miranda for that one. Now, Disney have developed a real knack over the last few years for having strong leading female characters that really stand out on their own merit without any need for a romantic element, and they've managed it again with Moana. John Musker and Ron Clements are of course no strangers to very good Disney films either, having been responsible for The Little Mermaid and Aladdin, and the inspiration from those two films in particular can definitely be felt in Moana. Overall, I did enjoy this film. It was a musical and it was handled very well, and Moana is a beautifully crafted film that's well worthy of a watch, and I'll be giving it a 4 out of 5. Remember guys, if you're enjoying the content we're putting out, then be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes, and give us a little follow on Facebook at Movie Burner Entertainment and on Twitter at Movie Burners. You can also catch up with all the latest reviews we're putting out at the Movie Burner blog on movieburnerentertainment.org. Until the next time, goodbye.